So I woke up pretty early in the morning, well not really early, but early for, information to be coming out, but it seems like the real name for Call of Duty 2019, not to be confused with 2020, which for some reason we were getting information about, but regardless, it seems like the actual name for it is actually not going to be Modern Warfare 4, and instead it's going to be called Modern Warfare, just Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and we'll get into the name and everything in a little bit, but for now let's actually look at where all this information is even coming from. So where it all started is actually from a tweet from a YouTuber I'm not personally familiar with, but his name is Long Sensation, and he says Call of Duty 2019 is called Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I'm not joking, and that's cool. I mean, YouTubers saying that and stuff, it's kind of credible. But then Jason Schreier, of course, one of the bigger game journalists, actually says I can confirm this is true, and that is hilarious. The first one was called Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, so obviously the fourth one is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Video games are absurd, and that's actually where we're getting all the name information from. First from the YouTuber, then Jason Schreier kind of confirming this for us, and because of that it seems likely, because it seems more and more people are saying yeah, this is going to be true, and everybody's just saying that it looks like the game is going to be called Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And I actually find this quite interesting because it's something we've been seeing in video games lately. I mean, how many times have we seen a game that's already been going on for a while and they just jump back and call it what the original game was? I mean, just think about what they did with God of War. There was God of War 2, God of War 3, and then all of a sudden they say, hey, we're back to God of War. And there's also the Battlefield thing where they were at Battlefield whatever, and then all of a sudden they ended up at Battlefield 1 all over. Something weird that's been going on with how they're titling video games. I mean, it's just actually hilarious. I never really thought about how bad they're getting at naming video games to tell this. Of course, it takes Call of Duty to realize the negative things about video games, but regardless, the name is interesting. I mean, I'm not surprised by it. I mean, it is, well, I guess I'm slightly surprised, but it's not something like, whoa, that's crazy or something like that. I mean, it's something that is easy to believe is what I'm trying to say, and I mean, I don't really got any problems with it. I mean, I just don't think people in the video game industry are good at naming games anymore. That's all I'm thinking. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. I mean, I honestly really don't care about the names. I guess kind of, but not too much. So, I mean, I don't really care about that. But, of course, that's all for the information we got today, not just the name, because after this, Jason Schreier himself tweeted out that it's going to be, or I guess in a response to somebody, is that it's going to be a soft reboot for the Modern Warfare series. So, Modern Warfare series, with everything that happened from obviously the first Modern Warfare to Modern Warfare 3, it's going to soft reboot it. And just to make sure everyone understands this, because it seems like a lot of people are confused and they're saying that it's not a Modern Warfare game. I mean, there's a difference from being a reboot and a soft reboot. For example, what a soft reboot is exactly what they did in God of War. I mean, everything is still canon that happened the first 3 God of Wars, but when the new God of War came out, of course, it was a soft reboot, and there really wasn't much similar, but the past that happened in there still, I mean, existed. It's not like everything's just starting over completely from scratch like you would in a real reboot. So, it's different, but it's not going to be the exact same thing. I imagine we maybe seen some similar characters from the older ones or the older Modern Warfare series, but we're probably not going to be following the exact same characters. It's probably going to be a lot different for the characters. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be similar characters, but they're probably not going to have nearly as big of a role, or maybe they are and they're just going to be the characters we're not too familiar with or something like that. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, they also could be changing what happened in the time. They could be going prequel, considering that it's called Modern Warfare, so it could be doing a prequel type of deal thing with slightly changed things in the future. I don't know. It's just something we're going to have to wait and see on, because the soft reboot, it just leaves a lot of options open for them to do really whatever they want with it. But that's all for all the really trustworthy leaks to say, because I want to talk about one thing right here at the end, but I just doubt it's credible. I mean, I'm not sure. Well, I shouldn't say I doubt, because I just don't know anything about the source where this is coming from, because someone just shared this on the Modern Warfare 4 Reddit, which looks like it's going to be irrelevant very soon, but I'm not too sure who this guy is. People are saying he's credible or something like that, but I just don't know. I'll read it off, but I wouldn't take anything he says that serious just because we don't know anything about this guy and where his sources are from. But I'll just read off what he says. So he's in reply to the actual name being Modern Warfare, he says, "It's true, the game is a reboot of the Modern Warfare series, not a follow-up to Modern Warfare 3. Press and influencers have played it this week," which is something we already know because we've seen so many people being flown out to LA and stuff like that, so we know that part. And it sounds pretty flipping good from what I've heard. New engine and new takes on classic Call of Duty, more realistic. I'm hesitant to say more because they'll show it soon, and I don't want to ruin anything. But Call of Duty fans should be excited about what's coming, especially those who feel the franchise has ran a little stagnant. So, again, take everything this guy says with a huge grain of salt because I just don't know where he's getting his information from. But, of course, what he did say is that they're going to be taking on a new engine for this Call of Duty. That's the main thing I think we could really all, talk about. I mean, there's a more realistic thing, which, I mean, come on, I doubt Call of Duty is going to go back to the more realistic stuff. But regardless, the new engine part, I do want to say that even if this is true and they are using a new engine, I mean, let's not say that we're going to get like an engine like Battlefield, like with Battlefield graphics, which I mean, I would love to see, especially since it's Call of Duty and should have a really good engine. But regardless, I just don't think we're going to see something like this. And what he's probably talking about is just an upgrade to the engine that we've been seeing ever since one of the first Call of Duties. I think Call of Duty 4 was when this engine was introduced, and we're still using it till this day, or Call of Duty still using this to this day. So we're probably just going to see more of that engine with upgrades like we see every single Call of Duty, except with Black Ops 4, which got a downgrade from Black Ops 3. But regardless, that's, again, I'm not going to say that we're not going to get a brand new, like something that's completely unrelated, but it's probably not the case. It's just an upgraded engine from what we've been seeing in the past, which I don't know. That's just what I'm expecting. But anyways, that's really all I got to say here. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about this. What you guys think of the name? What do you think about people naming things in video games? I just love to hear all of that. But anyways, I'm going to go. If you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead, do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and especially bell. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream, video, or whatever it may be. But laters, guys.